A very good day to you wherever you're watching us from. This is Smart 24, where we drive your business, and my name is Anthony, your host for Financial Markets. It is the 15th of September 2020. It's a Thursday. I hope you have had yourselves a wonderful day so far. This program definitely gives you insights into the financial markets. Particularly, we'll look deeply into the stock market and analyze the previous day's performance of our listed stocks here in Uganda, but across East Africa as well, majorly on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. And we want to promote capital markets here in Uganda. We want to promote saving and investment. And this is the key to our economic growth and unlocking our potential as Africa, as Uganda. I hope you are good. And of course, here today we are going to have a very exciting show. We're talking about the Capital Markets Authority Act. And I'm going to be having later on the show Counsel Louis Chizito, together with another legal scholar, Counsel Ntabugahume Victor, who are going to share about how the Capital Markets Authority Act can be amended in order to promote the capital markets here in Uganda. Now, the Capital Markets Authority was incorporated in the late 1990s, and we're talking about around 1998, 1997, when we saw the birth of the Capital Markets Authority under the Capital Markets Authority Act. Now, since the inception of the Capital Markets Authority and the capital markets in Uganda, there was, of course, the opening of the Uganda Securities Exchange, and this is the mandated exchange by the government of Uganda for carrying out trade across several securities, including stocks, as well as the debt instruments, that is the treasury bills and the treasury bonds. And this Uganda Securities Exchange, since its incorporation in 1997, has been able to carry out trade in these securities. But so far, for over the last 24, close to 25 years, we have only 18 listed companies. And recently, during the incorporation of cheaper technologies into the capital markets business, that is at the Uganda Securities Exchange as a stock broker, the chairman of the chief executive officer rather of the Uganda Securities Exchange, Mr. Paul Bwiso, unleashed that the company or the exchange has been able to get over 130,000 investors over the last 24 years. Of course, this could have been a celebration because they were much lower a couple of years ago, with a very stagnant number of about 30,000 around in the years 2010, 2012, all the way down to 2018. But there's a significant increase up to 130,000. However, depending on the statements also of the chairman of the board of directors, that is the NSSF director, Mr. Byarugaba, he said that this is not growth enough for us to celebrate, because for a market that has been in operation for the last 25 years, we can do much better. So today we are looking at what are some of the things that are holding back our capital markets. Our capital markets are quite vibrant. Look at other countries within the region. Taking a look at Nairobi. Yes, they're way older than us. They have been in existence since 1954. However, their markets are much more developed, with over 65 listed companies with different diversified products, derivatives, and so many other things that will still lack on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Definitely, we're going to be talking about that and more. So you can hit us up on our Twitter and give us a question, give us a concern that you may have. What are the things that need to be amended within the Capital Markets Authority Act in order for us to see growth in the industry? Of course, this question is on the minds of many. And you might actually think that maybe it's not the act, maybe it is something else. What can we do as Ugandans, as you and me, fellow Ugandans, what can we do to see that our capital markets grow actually from where they are at the moment? That's going to be our topic of concern today, and please make sure you get to those social media platforms and leave a question. You can also hit us on our comment section on the YouTube live stream. We are going to be, of course, live there as well. And you can also look at our Facebook page, that is at Smart24 TV Official, or you can visit our website for more information regarding the topic as well, www.smart24tv.com. Thank you. And of course, now let's get right into the business of the day. Now, yesterday was quite a green day of trading, I have to say. We had a very wonderful performance of the 18 stocks here on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Now, in aggregate, about 4 listed equities participated in the trading yesterday during the trading session. Now, remember, the markets open at exactly 9 a.m. and they close at 1 p.m. East African Standard Time. And the day ended with 8 gainers, interestingly, and impressively, there were no losers on the market yesterday. So it was an entirely bullish market on the stock market of Uganda yesterday. And when we look at the gainers, they were led, surprisingly still, by Kenya Airways, who gained about 0.03% on her share price, and closed the day with a price of 121.22. As you can see on your screen right there, the Centum Investment Company was another gainer after gaining about 0.03%, closing the day with a price of 303.21 Ugandan shillings. All these are cross listed from Kenya, fortunately or unfortunately, on the market. And then we had Kenya Commercial Bank. Kenya Commercial Bank gained by 0.03% as well, up to 1,322.97 Uganda shillings. This is also a cross-listed bank from Kenya there on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. The other gainer was Equity Bank Limited, gained about 0.03% at exactly 1,514.45 Ugandan shillings here on the stock market in Uganda. And when you look at East African Breweries Limited, they also gained by 0.03% and closed the day with a price of 4,810.80 Ugandan shillings. Jubilee Holdings Limited closed the day with a gain of 0.03% on their stock, and currently they opened the market at 7,762.16. Now, those were the top performers. We had no losers on the market. As you can see, over 8 gainers there on the stock market yesterday. Fortunately or unfortunately, they are all cross-listed from the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Why do I say that? Because basically there were no shifts or movements within the volumes or trading that occurred on these stocks. The movement of these prices was entirely due to factors outside demand and supply. Remember, when we talk about movement in prices or changing in prices, stocks change in price depending entirely on demand and supply. However, for stocks that are cross-listed, meaning they are listed on more than one exchange, there could be other factors on the domestic exchange of that equity that could have influenced the movement in the price. And when you look at the movements there, we had, if my producer can just bring back that screen, you will see that all the companies changed by the same margin, 0.03%. This is basically because the Uganda Securities Exchange has to move the prices at the end of a trading day, has to move the prices depending on how the particular stock has performed on the domestic stock exchange. In this particular case, all these companies, Kenya Airways, Centum Investments, Kenya Commercial Bank, Equity Bank Limited, East African Breweries Limited, and Jubilee Holdings Limited are all listed on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. So the entire movement in price was influenced by what they did on the stock market there in Nairobi. Or sometimes the foreign exchange rate can also come into play because these are pricings depending on the Kenyan shillings. Because when you look at Kenya Airways, Centum Investments, when you currently, for example, the current foreign exchange rate for the Ugandan shillings to the Kenyan shillings is that 1 Kenyan shillings is worth about 31.7 Ugandan shillings. So when you get the price of Kenya Airways of 121.22 and you divide it by exactly 31, you will come up with the price of the Kenyan Airways stock on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Meaning the moment the foreign exchange rate changes, whether it increases or decreases, definitely the price of the stock will also change on the stock market here in Uganda, where they're cross listed. So entirely it's not depending on the demand and supply for this stock on the Uganda Securities Exchange, but on factors such as the foreign exchange rate, as well as other factors depending on how these stocks performed on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. I hope that was a clear explanation. Many people usually ask this question: why do the prices change yet there were no trades on companies that are cross-listed? And that's a simple question with a simple reply. There are factors outside the demand and supply of stock that affect the price of the cross-listed companies on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Now, however, yesterday we still had some companies in Uganda do quite well. You're looking at some top movers here who traded some good volumes yesterday on the market. We are talking about the top trader being Umeme yesterday, who moved the market with the highest volume of over 97,966 shares that were transacted on the Umeme stock. Now, the second top mover was MTN Uganda Limited. MTN also traded a good volume of about 54,300 shares on the market, whereas Cipla Quality Chemical Industries Limited came in the third place after trading about 100 shares on the stock market, and Stanbic Bank Uganda traded 49 shares on the Uganda Securities Exchange yesterday. Regarding the performance of the indices, you're looking at the the Uganda Securities Exchange All Share Index, which is the benchmark index. It inched up, of course, there were no losers, so it inched up by 0.29 points, and that was a 0.02% daily gain on the Uganda Securities Exchange All Share Index. The All Share Index is an aggregate or average performance tracker of all the listed equities. We are talking about all the 18 listed companies. If you want to know the health of the stock exchange here in Uganda, or you want to know the health of the economy, because still this is an indicator of what's happening within the economy, you just have to take a look at the All Share Index. And yesterday we're seeing that it moved up actually by 0.29 points. Now it closed at exactly 1,274.92 points yesterday, representing a 1-week loss of 1.83% and a 4-week loss of 2.86%. Still losing, still on the weekly basis, because overall during this week there has been quite a decline in performance on average. That is looking at the average performance for the week. Also still in the 1-month performance, we have lost even further by over 2.86%. On the overall year-to-date performance, the Uganda Securities Exchange All Share Index also has lost about 2.86%. 0.86% still. Actually, it has lost about 10.26% on the year-to-date loss, which is still a bigger loss. So we still have some more work to do. There's nothing to get excited about as yet. We still have more work to do on the exchange to push the index at least in a positive direction. As we are towards the fourth quarter of the year, we should see the markets improving. And this can only be made possible if you and I start investing in our stock market here in Uganda. Investing is quite easy. You have some money somewhere. You're not going to need that money in the next couple of months. Please don't keep that money on the bank account. Don't keep that money in a box. That is even worse. And the worst thing also, don't misuse that money. Get that money to make you more money on the stock exchange. All you need to do is to open yourself an SCD account, a Securities Central Depository account. This account is where your shares, where your securities will be kept. And it is yours. You alone have access to this account, and it's entirely a personal account. How do you open it? There are several ways, but one of the ways is using your smartphone, and you go on the internet and you go to the website of the Uganda Securities Exchange. That is www.use.org.ug. And when you do this, you look for Easy Portal on that website. Easy Portal is where you have the portal where you can put your details. That is your national identity card. Of course, they'll ask for your picture. The rest is history. The account will be open for you within a few minutes. And when the account is open, which is an entirely, absolutely free of charge process, you will decide when you want to trade. It doesn't matter if you don't want to trade today or tomorrow, or you want to trade next year. It doesn't matter. The account can be opened at absolutely no cost. And when you do open the account, you will definitely get started on your investment journey here on the Uganda Securities Exchange. The option for those of you with MTN, who are MTN subscribers, is also dialing *165*57#. When you dial *165*57#, you will directly access the USE Easy Portal, where you will just need to put your details of your national identification number, that is your NIN number on your national identity card, and the rest is absolutely history, and you will have been able to open on your account on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Now, back to the indices. The index, we have seen that for the All-Share Index, it went up. Also, likewise, the Uganda Securities Exchange Local Company Index increased increased to reach 270.46 points, and this makes it a 1-week gain of 0.68% and a 4-week loss of 2.05%, and a year-to-date loss of 16.69% on the Uganda Securities Exchange. The local company index tracks the average performance of all the domestically listed or the domestic equities here on the Uganda Securities Exchange. It also moved upwards because definitely of the counters like MTN and CIPLA, as well as the counters like Stanbic Bank that moved the market very well yesterday. Thank you very much for remaining with us. We have a lot in store for you. We're just going to take a quick breather. We'll return with more about the stock market, and also later on we have Counsel Luis Chizito together with legal scholar Counsel Ntavugahume Victor. We're talking amendments in the Capital Markets Authority Act. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Smart 24, driving business.
Whether it is Katogo, Chikomando, Rolex Majasa to Nyanyambisi. Man, wherever I am, I enjoy Chinayu with your TV channels on my phone.
Enjoy a new world of entertainment with over 80 TV and radio channels, plus movies from wherever you are. Download the YoTV Channels app from your app store and enjoy 30 days of free streaming with MTN.
YoTV Channels.
Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292#. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter your national identification number. Step 5. Enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours, you will receive an SMS confirming your registration. Congratulations, you are now ready to invest.
Sasulira akasimu k'ekirooto kyo mpola mpola. Funa essimu y'ekirooto kyo leero ng'osasula mpola mpola okutandikira ku nnusu 14 n'ofuna data ow'obwereere okumala omwaka. Essimu zonna kugirako MB za 5 buli lunaku okumala emyezi 12. Osasulira omwaka gumu. Ziri mu maduuka ga MTN n'aga M-Kopa. MTN, everywhere you go.
Okay, we've got to go live now. Everyone tuning in to SuperSport.
Welcome all over the world. It's time for the main event. We've waited a very long time, an age for some. It is delicious, glorious, glorious. Just like.
Are you ready for football's greatest season? Live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
Music is fuel that fires up our souls. Today, African music has a dominant place on the world map. This massive music movement creating waves across the globe.
I have seen the evolution and the growth of this industry.
But every movement starts with a story. And the best place to start any story is at the very beginning.
There's a primordial energy that can only have come from Africa.